Hello, Noble people. My name is The Noble, and today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm pretty much going to do a video on Apex. Pretty much, is it fun? Because this is kind of a thing that people are kind of talking about right now. Basically, I'll show up on the screen right now. The current players for Steam right now has gone under 100,000 and around that range, and that's not really good. Now, do keep in mind this is only on Steam, so this is not counting console, and this isn't even counting only people who play on PC, because Origin, the server that runs through EA, also has Apex, and also Epic Games recently had Apex. So that is something that you do have to keep in mind. So multiple people might be split up on multiple things, which might be why the player base looks so low. But I kind of wanted to do this video pretty much because the consensus around Apex is that it's kind of been falling off compared to other mainline video games and like a big triple A online games. It's kind of been falling off recently compared to something like Fortnite, where they just did a Disney crossover. You can play like the Incredibles in the game now. It's just very not as good or not as high budget or not mainstay as it was compared to Fortnite anymore. It used to be if you played Fortnite, it was more kiddie, and if you played Apex, you were more. It was probably the more difficult game. But I feel like right now people play Fortnite more to have fun, while Apex you physically can't play to have fun because it's so sweaty right now. And I kind of wanted to talk about it. Is the game fun? Is the core problems and core positives of the game enough to play it? Because currently, right now, the place where I'm coming from is to play the game is probably different from a lot of other people. And I kind of want to talk about that. So, without further ado, let's hop into this video. So first off, the main thing that I do want to talk about is actually how the servers work in Apex. The one thing that is very apparent is Respawn and EA are insanely cheap, but also at the same time want to bleed us of money. And that's nowhere near close to how they do it via the servers. Most online shooters or even some online games use high tick servers to get accurate depictions of what's going on. Even some like battle card games, I think like Pokemon Go has a higher tick rate than Apex. Apex runs at a server 20 tick server rate, meaning that for every 1 second in the game, it updates 20 times. Now you may think 20 updates in 1 second is pretty good, but compared that to Overwatch, which has 60, and compared that to Valorant, which has like 128 something, you're getting like a half cut of the up to an 80% loss if you compare it to Apex. And that is insanity. This pretty much means that if you ever get dead slides, if you ever get no regs, even the worst contender is when you go around a piece of cover and it feels like you got shot around the cover, like the bullet like flew around and didn't go in a straight line. That is actually because the server tick was desynced, and on the screen you were behind it, but on the enemy's screen you got hit. And they're going to listen to the enemy's screen because they don't want to display wrong information. But at the same time, it's displaying wrong information for you. And it has to just pretty much do a 50-50. And that's never fun. Also, the monetization also isn't the best. That's pretty much nailed that if the monetization is probably never going to get better, if I'm going to be honest. Maybe, but I'm going to be honest, they're probably not going to change. And for a free player, it's probably not going to be bad. However, I will say, don't make fun of people who do get stuff for this game. They can buy the game that you want and get extra stuff. It's not that big of a deal. I saw a lot of people were like yelling at the whales or the people who get a lot of stuff for Apex, and you shouldn't be harassing those people. If they want to get money in this game and put stuff in, that's fine. That's for them. And one big thing about that, though, is that some of the monetization has gotten a little bit more predatory. Pretty much the biggest contenders has been pretty much their gambling events, where you get a chance to get that big item and it's only guaranteed at the last one, pretty much forcing you to buy all of them, or them trying to do the battle pass changes. Luckily, they went back because people review bombed the game and people were not happy, and they pretty much were forced to go back. I kind of wish more and more people review bombed the game for other stuff, because that might have a lot more pushback to the point where they're pretty much forced to give us fair monetization. But again, I don't think that will happen anytime soon. Now, I do want to talk about some positives, obviously. The core element of Apex is still fun. Even though the server ticks aren't going to be perfect, you can still play the game. It's playable if you have good internet, at least. And the core elements of the game is still going to be fun. I love the gunplay, the movement's fun. I personally love new legends, and I love legend lore, which is going on to the next part, is content dryness. It's no secret that more recently they've been doing every other season when it comes to pushing out content or big stuff. A good example is, I would argue that this season has been horrible for new content. We've gotten a new mode, which is fine, but pretty much all they did was just add a respawn mechanic, which I'm going to be honest, doesn't really entice me as a player. It might entice you, which is fine, but to me, it doesn't seem that big of a deal. And obviously, we got the district map, which I'm going to be honest is pretty cool. I like it. The akimbo weapons don't really count as new weapons, even though it did give some power to the P20s and Mozams. I wouldn't count it as a new weapon because it's not a new weapon. But the main thing that they are getting ready to do is every other season, they don't release a legend. And apparently, it might be going to every 2 seasons they won't release a legend. As it's set for next season, we might see a rework of a character. Now, last time they reworked a character, it was Revenant. However, they purposely laid it out in the lore to rework Revenant and make it make sense. The rework that this time might be Lifeline. And I'm going to be really honest, Lifeline doesn't need a rework. She has the highest played in ranked and even in like normal casual play. The only thing that needs updating is her ult. Pretty much everything else about her kit is fine and fun. I really don't see any reason to purposely skip out on adding a new legend to the game just to rework Lifeline. And I have said this on stream, if next season does have a Lifeline rework, I purposely will not play Lifeline rework until the next season, because I want them to add new characters along with reworks. You can rework Lifeline. To me, it just seems insanely lazy. A game that has made multiple billions of dollars shouldn't force its player base to have content dryness. The most recent event is the Trick or Treat event tied with the Revival event together. They just put these two together, which, to be honest, is a cool idea and makes it more chaotic. But at the same time, it's nothing really new. It's just you putting two ideas together because you don't have enough brain power to make a completely new game mode. And that might be a little bit harsh, but the whole point of this video is to be harsh. I'm trying to do an objective, like plainly objective. This isn't like a brand new game mode. They're trying to advertise it as it is. They're pushing the skins instead of pushing new content, and then they get mad when people aren't playing the game, and it's kind of weird. Now, the main thing I do want to talk about is, why am I even playing Apex? Why did I come back? And pretty much because I can do videos. More recently, the stuff with my schooling pretty much has gone downhill, so I really won't be doing that. And I kind of want to just focus on just doing some like creative and goofy stuff on the channel. And one thing that I wanted to bring back was actually the Noble Way series. I had a series that I tried to start when I first made our channel, and it was a Newcastle video. I hate it because I was really, really rude to Newcastle. I didn't like his character all that much, and I pretty much didn't even play his character. I think I played him for like an hour and then just made the video instead of trying to play him for like multiple hours at a time, and that is not what you want from an in-depth guide. So I've been playing Alter, I've been streaming a bunch of clips, getting it, and making her video, and I actually want to go in depth. This is kind of inspired by the Macros for Noobs video. I love those, and his has a little bit more satire in it than like actual strategies. I want to completely break down Alter in a long term video, and that's why I am playing Alter and why I am actually playing Apex more consistently, because I'm having fun playing this Alter and learning the character, trying to find every like niche option for her and try and completely master a character. I find that really fun. But to everyone, that's not a thing that people really like too much. You can completely master multiple characters. People who have been playing this from day one probably have mastered almost every character, and there's no content left for them. The biggest content that we've seen has been solos, and that is them just slightly changing an old game mode that people have been asking them to bring back for actual years, and they only brought it back because people have been asking for it. They haven't really done anything new and creative, and I want to see that. Like I said, I'm going to keep playing the game at least for now because I'm excited to make new content and edit these videos, learn new legends, and have fun with it. But for other people, they're probably not going to do it. You're probably going to stick to your main, your three mains, four mains, even one main probably, and just play the game for a little bit and then get burnt out when there's not enough to have. The ranked system also isn't perfect. I know people have been talking about cheaters and stuff. Now, as someone who plays on the PS5, cheaters aren't very apparent. However, there are some smurfing problems, even on my team. Now, I pretty much made it a rule for myself that if someone I know is actively cheating and it's in the thing, I will insta report them, even if they're on my team. A good example is we had a Smurf Pathfinder that I can show on screen right now. He was a level 35 and he was insanely good at the game to the point where I had to report him, even though he was on my team, because he is cheating. And that is kind of annoying to have happen. But at the same time, I feel like that is something that they're trying to work on. If they don't work on it, I can 100% see the game tanking. But the main consensus is the game still fun to play casually? Yes. Is the game fun to play for an extended period of time? No. I genuinely think that the game as it is now, if they're not going to add new content and everything, the game can probably very quickly die because there's not enough to have happen. Like there's not enough content, and they need to give new stuff quicker. And that's kind of where the crossroads is why people are scared that Apex might be dying. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see this game dying like that. Usually, when games die, they die either all at once or very, very slowly. And even if this is a sign that the that Apex might be dying soon, I would still give it like a good 6 months to fully die out, because fully die out is like, I don't feel like they're gonna have a Concord type of thing where the game gets plugged, because it still makes EA money with very little effort. They can just keep pumping out recolors and stuff, and they will never have to like really do insane amount of work on the game, and they can keep it alive for a little bit. So if you see anybody who keeps arguing that the game is dead or dying or everything, ignore them. I don't think the game is in a state where it's dying. However, I do think the game is in a state where they drastically need some change or in some improvements. Now, I will give some of my opinions on some changes. Pretty much is I think they should go back to being able to do a legend every season. I used to love having some teasers about new legends, and them trying to break up legend ideas to me is stupid. The whole point of legends to me is you release a legend that's insanely strong and then casually nerf them over the course. A good example is Horizon. Horizon has pretty much always been meta, and I think that's fun. I don't know. I feel like it's better to have a bunch of legends that are really good than to have a bunch of legends that are really bad. A good example is Alter. Alter, I feel like, can be an insanely good legend, but people don't give her the time of day because she was just kind of released in a season that was focused on solo instead of team-oriented stuff, so people kind of slept on her. And I want to see more of that type of stuff in the game, and I may see it further. I know some leaks have shown that we might get the Vantage's mother as a character, which that would be pretty cool. I personally would like to see if they do continue doing those reworks, which again, I don't like reworks, but I think they really need to rework Ash. I love Ash, but I would really love to see her get a rework of some sort. If they do decide to rework Lifeline, I would hope it would just be like an update, like a quality of life fix, and they don't like try and advertise a like her as a new legend. Like it made sense for Revenant because they completely changed his kit pretty much except his passive. They just added more to it. To me, it doesn't make sense for them to try and advertise a Lifeline rework unless they actually fully rework her, which I don't see happening because people will be mad because the Lifeline right now is fairly good. But yeah, that's about it. I think the game is still fun for me at least. However, I do want to give your thoughts and feelings on in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. I really am interested what you guys think about this game right now. Like I said, I love the game right now, but I want to hear some thoughts about what people they can do to improve the game. And I know the monetization is probably what people are going to, but let's be honest, let's have like realistic expectations cuz I'm pretty sure they're not going to like force anyone to or try and push or not stop pushing money because at the end of the day this is a free game that they're going to want to try and push money for. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. But yeah, give me your thoughts below. Stay noble. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.